that lose the faithful lightning. Of his terrible swift sword, his truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
Today to honor those who served and now serve in the uniform, as well as those who died in service to their country. Many of us here today served in this nation to bring about peace. To you, I say thank you. Thank you for setting an example that inspired me and my peers to raise my hand in voluntary service to this great nation.
My name is Harold Horton. I served in the Navy Security Service. I was in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
James Kenneth Mixon, United States Air Force, retired. Been retired for over 20 years. Spent 24 years in the Air Force, here, there, and everywhere. Had opportunity to go to practically every state in the United States and a bunch of foreign countries. I wouldn't take nothing from my time. I really wouldn't.
The time I spent as a member of the United States Marine Corps was an experience that will stay with me and define me until the day I die. I consider it an honor and a privilege to have served my country in Vietnam. I'm proud to be an American.
At 18, I went into the Navy, the V-12 program, where as an apprentice seaman, they sent us to school to become officers. I was in the V-12 program for a year and a half at Georgia Tech before I went to Naval Academy. And after Naval Academy, I spent 25 years of commissioned service, serving in aircraft carrier, battleship, submarine, and engineering duty at shipyards where we built and designed and overhauled ships. And then at age 49, I retired from the Navy and came back to my hometown and started a teaching career. 4 years in the public school at Greenwood, Mississippi, and 29 years at the private academy at Kirk Academy at Grenada.
Serving 3 years in Germany probably was my most memorable experience. And well, I'll give you one more. I got to Korea in 1955, right after the Korean War was over. And to see the destruction in that country and all that, it just made you realize what war can do and does do.
Did you get to keep in touch with your friends and family back home?
Yeah, we kept in touch.
How did you do that?
By letters. Back then we didn't have the communications, the phone service that we got now, you know, and email and all that. We used carrier pigeons.
Well, you know how the Air Force works. Airplanes is our thing, so. But I enjoyed all my experience in the military, and even now, I get to go to things like this.
I know we will continue to be the land of the free and the home of the brave because of the service of those here and the tough young Americans who are still willing to look beyond their own comfortable lives and go into the darkest and most dangerous places on earth to hunt down and destroy those who would do us harm.
In the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War, Armistice Day became Veterans Day, a holiday dedicated to American veterans of all wars, the men and women of the VFW and Ladies Auxiliary, are proud to pay tribute to all those who have served this great nation and pray for all those who now serve and those that are no longer with us. May God bless the United States and may God bless our troops.
My name is Jack Miners. I'm part of the Post 4488 VFW in Grenada, Mississippi. We're honoring our veterans, as everybody should do in America, for the people that serve the country to keep us free.
Ralph Byford. I'm Senior Vice Commander at the club, Post 4488. We come out to honor the veterans.
I was in the Air Force for 20 years. I was an aircraft armament specialist. I started out my career at Moody Air Force Base, Georgia, working on F-4s, one of the best aircraft in the Air Force at the time. It's the only aircraft that has lasted over 20 years in service. It finally retired, I think, in about 1991. I think it's when they finally got rid of them. But from then, I went to Korea to work on F-16s, and then I worked F-15s in Bitburg, Germany. And while working there, I went to Saudi Arabia for Operation Southern Watch, and then I went back to South Carolina for F-16s again, and then we did Operation Northern Watch and Provide Comfort in Incirlik, Turkey, and then I went back to Korea, and then back to Germany, and then I went to Clovis, New Mexico, and finished my career there, and finally settled down in Mississippi.
I was in the Army.
Okay. What period of time and where did you serve?
I served in Korea and Germany. And I went in 1968 and got out in 1990.
And where were you stationed in Germany?
First time I was in Nuremberg, second time I was in Gießen, and third time I was in Kaiserslautern.
All right, and then what about in Korea?
I was at Camp Red Cloud in Wagon.
All right. And what was your rank in the military?
E6.
E6, Sergeant E6.
Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant E6, right, okay.
I'm the chaplain of the VFW, and I joined back when I was in Korea. And there's VFWs all over the place, and I just thought it was something that I should do, just for the fact that they stand behind people that are veterans, and they help out when you need it, and we do certain ceremonies for veterans that have passed away. We do flag details for them and stuff like that. It's just a good organization, a good camaraderie to meet up with other people that were in the service that not necessarily served with, and we're in different agencies, but you can get together at the VFW and talk to each other and have, tell little war stories and just get that kind of good feeling that you had when you were in the military.
We got about 200 members or close to it. And any veterans eligible to join, I'd recommend them join the VFW to get involved in our doings.
Okay. And
Colors, halt, right, face, present, colors.
We as veterans can tell you, freedom is not free. We earned the right to be the most powerful nation in the world through the sacrifice of many Americans.